What's up, Jake here, and today I'll be reviewing and comparing these three modular toolbox systems from Flex, Milwaukee, and Ridgid. Over the last 10 years, modular toolbox systems have been changing the game of tool storage and organization. We no longer need to use individual boxes, trays, bags, or buckets to hold, and more importantly, transport our tools. In 2022, there are more than 10 brands selling similar systems. So, after looking at what was available in stores and researching more online, I bought these three systems. I think they have the most potential and are on track to earn the most points in my unique scoring system called the Jake Score, where I take a look at 10 different categories, including cost, features, durability, and more. Stay tuned to see which system comes out on top. Each of these boxes have their own cool and unique features that I want to highlight in this video. But first, I think we need to look at their pricing. The most budget-friendly of these three systems is the Ridgid. The rolling box comes in at $89.97, the medium toolbox is $49.97, and the small box is $39.97. This may be surprising, but Packout is not the most expensive toolbox system in this video. The rolling toolbox is $139, the medium box is $89.97, and the small box is $79.97. The most expensive system of these three is Flex Stackpack. The rolling box is $139, the medium box is $89.98, and the small box is $79.98. Stackpack and Ridgid 2.0 have nowhere near as many products as Packout, so it's a little bit hard to compare the systems apples to apples. But each system does have a half-width organizer. The Ridgid organizer has 6 small bins and 1 big one and comes in at $24.97. The Milwaukee has 4 small bins, 1 big one, and is $34.97. The Flex has 2 small bins, 1 medium, and 1 big one, and it comes in at $39.98. Before I continue talking about these systems, I have one honorable mention for the most overpriced system on the market. That honor goes to the Purdy Painter Storage Box for $329. I just don't get that price, but if you're interested in a review of that system, drop a comment below, hit the like button, subscribe, and maybe I'll get around to it. Hopefully you've had a chance to see my last 2 videos, where I talked about my first impressions of the Flex system and Ridgids. In those videos, I highlighted some of the more obvious features, but today I want to take a deeper dive into these 3 systems and talk about their differences and similarities. The first measurements I want to compare are the width, height, and depth of the 3 box stacks. The widest part of the Milwaukee is just over 22 inches. The Ridgid is the widest at 22.25, and the Flex is about 22 inches. The tallest part of the Packout stack is 32.5 inches. The Ridgid is 34, and the Flex is the tallest of the 3 at 35 inches. The exterior dimensions and specs of these individual boxes are all pretty similar. However, there are some things I want to note. The Ridgid roller depth has 2 dimensions because the handle and wheels are completely removable from the system. For the height of the Flex boxes, I measured to the top of the latches, not the lid, like the Packout and Ridgid. Even though these boxes are about the same size, their individual weights and weight capacities are pretty different. Flex has been making some pretty bold claims about their heavy dutiness and highest in-class weight capacity. But that higher rating does come with much heavier boxes. The extra plastic, gas struts, and metal reinforcements really add up to a noticeable increase when just moving around these empty boxes. I don't know about you, but even when I load up my boxes with tools, I don't even come close to the weight capacities. If you're using these boxes to transport gym equipment, then sure, the higher weight capacity might be worth it. All I'm saying is getting the heaviest duty box on paper might not always be the most efficient option. Some other notable specs are the IP65 rating, which means each of these systems are water resistant, not waterproof. The outside dimension of wheel to wheel is very important when storing your boxes and maneuvering around a job site. In just a few basic tests, I have noticed that the Ridgid is a bit trickier to maneuver at 25.5 inches. But I'll talk a little bit more about that in the maneuverability section later in this video. The nicest wheels are probably Stackpacks. They are a true 9 inches by 2.25 wide. They have a rubber tread, and they use a thicker axle that uses 3/4 inch nuts, compared to Packout and Ridgid that only use a 9/16. The main handles of these systems are all pretty different. They have a similar raised handle height, but when you lower them, things start to change. Packout's handle only lowers to 24 inches, so you're most likely just a few inches too tall to fit in your truck under a cover. The Ridgid is still pretty tall at 31 inches, but since the handle is completely removable, you just need to worry about the height of the XL box, which is 16 inches. The flex handle is 26 inches when collapsed, but since the handle is removable, it gets lowered to a height of 20 inches. Measuring the inside of the boxes is pretty tricky since they all have a lot of ridges, cutouts, and chamfers. Overall, since Flex's boxes are the biggest on the outside, that does translate to the most space on the inside. I would like to point out though, that since Ridgid has less dramatic cutouts and chamfers, the usable space is still pretty competitive. In my opinion, the most important feature of a toolbox system is how securely and easily the boxes connect. I think there is a clear winner among these three, but there are still pros and cons to each one. Of these systems, the Ridgid is the most simple design. It uses these manual bars that provide a snug fit, and also create small top handles. Ridgid was pretty clever with the design of these 2.0 boxes. By including this groove in the middle, attaching half boxes should be almost as easy as Packout. The full-size boxes have 4 points of contact. These 4 feet are pretty sturdy and also help guide the box into the right location. Flex's design also involves side connectors, but this one is a bit more complex than Ridgid's. It's also very similar to DeWalt test systems, but they are definitely not compatible. When disconnecting the boxes, it's a 2-step operation. Push down one side, push down the other, and lift the box off. As soon as you lift the box off, the latches automatically spring back and are ready to secure a new box. If we take a closer look at how the latches work, there's a spring that keeps them in the closed position. And when a box is in place, the little black nubs engage and keep it in open position until you either push the box back in or remove it completely. Since the design of this latch is pretty complex, I'm a little bit worried about how it will last over the long term, and if or when it breaks, how difficult will it be to replace. The Flex system does also accommodate half-width boxes, but it requires an extra step of lifting this middle latch. It is by no means difficult to do, but it's inconvenient when switching up your stack quickly. The main contact points on the Flex boxes are in each of the corners. I do like how these feet are rubberized, and it helps guide the box into place. It's also worth noting that this design should focus most of the weight on the corners, which is the most reinforced part of the box. Packout uses a single latch in the middle of every box. It's a simple yet reliable design, because most of the work to hold the boxes in place is actually done by the feet. The full-size Packout boxes have 12 constant points of contact. This leads to a very secure fit. The Packout boxes rattle significantly less than the other systems. Another benefit to this design is how easy it is to rearrange your stack, especially in confined areas. If we take a look at my current workbench setup, I can store multiple boxes on a single shelf. And if I want to remove one, it can be done without removing both boxes. If you had Flex or Ridgid boxes in a similar setup in your van or workshop, the entire setup will need to be moved away from the walls, detached, and then pushed back into storage. This problem can obviously be avoided if you store every single box individually or on shelves with drawer slides, but that is an expensive solution regardless of what system you choose. This little demonstration did get me thinking of a way to mod the Ridgid latches so you can unlock them from the front. Obviously, it would be great if Ridgid implemented this idea on their own and made a more convenient mechanism, but if we're stuck with these latches, I can continue to refine this mod if there's interest. Comment below if the side latches would annoy you and you'd be interested in a new solution. The last main benefit I want to point out about Packout is that the simple layout of the feet has made it super convenient to expand the capabilities of this system with aftermarket feet and cleats. You can 3D print these accessories or buy a set from a company like Stealth Mounts. I'll have a link in the description below if you want to pick up some for yourself. The cleats make it easy to attach a Packout to any flat surface. And the feet can make anything Packout compatible. Personally, I've used feet and cleats to make many Packout mods, or what I prefer to call them, Packout add-on creations, or packs for short. If you haven't seen my pack videos yet, I've made an oversized worktop, various types of custom drawers, and a compact dolly to name a few. The main reason why I'm bringing this up is because the ease of modding Packouts has become a huge part of the Milwaukee community. Any systems that use a more complicated side connecting design will definitely hamper or even prevent innovation from third parties. I'm sure some sort of 3D printed latch will be designed eventually, but that will only solve one part of the problem. The points of contact on both Flex and Ridgid are very specific to the shape of their lid and the bottom of their box. So if you're okay with waiting for the manufacturer to release new boxes and products, then this might not be that big of a deal. But if you're like me and want to add products from other brands or like to design and build your own creations, then these systems have an obvious downside. If you have any thoughts on this problem, make sure to comment below. To someone who doesn't know much about these toolbox systems, they might think they're just big plastic toolboxes that come in different colors. But each system actually has unique features that separate it from the others. So let's start by looking at what's on the outside, and then we'll move to the inside. Starting with Flex, it's obvious Stackpack designers took notice of all the modifications which have been done to Packout over the years. The most notable features incorporated into this box are their accessory-ready corners, which can accommodate several add-on products like their level holder, cord wrap, and more. Of course, you can get similar add-ons for Packout through third parties, but obviously Flex wanted to beat the modding community to market. I'll admit the threaded inserts are a good idea, but I wish Flex was a bit more innovative with their accessories. They basically just copied the best ones from the Packout community and made them compatible with the threaded inserts on the corners. The small box has 1 insert, the medium box has 2, and the large box has 3. Another feature many Packout users often purchase a mod for is an easily removable handle. Flex's handle can be removed with these green buttons. It's nice that they included this feature in their system without needing the additional modification. The main handle on the Flex has a solid rubber grip, but it's actually my least favorite of these 3 systems. I think the smooth rubber just doesn't provide as good of a grip as the other 2 handles that have more texture. The handle raises and lowers with the press of a single button, which is another aspect that they copied from Packout. While it's good to have more options for transporting your boxes, I have noticed several drawbacks with these handles compared to Packout and Ridgid. It may be only on my middle box, but the top handle on this box is very tight and needs much more force to raise it than the others. When it's raised, it's a few inches smaller than Packout's, and there aren't any hooks preventing the box from opening when the latches are left open. The medium box has 2 side handles, which might be good in theory, but are a bit unnecessary. I see 2 problems with this design. Number 1, unless you have wide shoulders, it's more awkward to grab them than the built-in side grips, which are on Packout and Ridgid. Number 2, using them makes the box even wider and a lot harder to get through normal doorways. The main problem with the front handle on these boxes is actually how close it is to the padlock hole. If you're in a hurry and just grab the handle like this, your knuckles can easily smash into the top because it has only an inch clearance. All the systems have pretty sturdy latches. They all use the wire gate design, which Packout started and other brands have since followed. The Flex boxes have some extra protection around the latches, but is that really necessary? Comment below if you have ever had a broken latch. The last special feature on the outside of the Flex boxes is the label holder. It's nice to have a dedicated spot included, but I don't think it looks that much nicer than the labels I've printed and stuck on my Packout. And I don't think it looks as cool as custom hinges or labels people 3D print for Packout. I also noticed that there are no label holders for any of the boxes in the Flex lineup besides these three. Ridgid Pro Gear 2.0 has two unique features I want to talk about. My favorite is that the wheels and handle are a removable unit. I really like this feature because not only does it help you fit everything under a truck bed, but it also means you can quickly customize your entire stack depending on which tools and boxes you need. The orange latch on the back of the handle is the locking mechanism for the box. And to raise and lower the handle, it has two gray buttons that need to be pulled together at the same time. I think it would have been more convenient to have the placement of these mechanisms switched around, since I think raising and lowering the handle is more common, but either way, it's still a great idea. The closest thing to this product is the Packout 2-wheel cart, but that's an additional $200 to any boxes that you might buy. The second cool feature I want to talk about is that Ridgid boxes all come with their fix and go system. That refers to these cleats on the back of all the boxes. You can mount any of the 2.0 boxes to the wall. Your box should include a pair of wall mounts, and when installed 16 inches on center, your box can be stored anywhere. This seems like a really convenient and expandable method for storing your boxes. It's also a more affordable option than the Packout mounting plate. When we take a look at Packout, I don't know if I can say these three boxes have any truly groundbreaking features from the factory, but that's probably because they were released about 5 years ago. Many other systems have copied Packout's concepts for padlock holes, heavy-duty latches, folding handles, and a mounting point in the back. To make the most of your Packout and get the most features possible, you have to consider all of the additional boxes and third-party accessories available. Obviously, Packout has an advantage because it has been around longer, and the product lines have been consistently growing. Packout has 2 different drawers, a dolly, a hand truck, a variety of bags and totes, power tools like a vacuum, a work light, and a speaker, a worktop, 3 types of coolers, and many more boxes and accessories for the job site, van, or garage. At first glance, the metal corner rails may not seem as cool as Flex's, but on their own, they do provide an extra handle or convenient spot to clip something to. The 4 points also make a convenient setup to secure any item on your stack with some rope. They become even more versatile when you add aftermarket products made by the Packout community. I'm sure similar products will work their way into other systems, but there's an overwhelming focus on Milwaukee. Speaking of 3D printed accessories, my modular organization system, the Handler, will work with each of these systems. Just simply choose the correct mounts for Packout, Stackpack, or Ridgid 2.0, and now any of the Handler products, such as the tool tray, 4-inch cup, adapter bar, or phone holder, will be compatible and easily connectable to your toolbox. For more info on my Handler organization system, just follow the link in the description to watch the latest video on it, or go to my website, whyhedesigns.com, and check it out. First up, accessory bins and organizers. Packout has 4 types of bins that come in this 3-piece set. 2 large totes, 2 medium open bins with dividers, 1 small open bin, and 1 small closed case. I really like the Packout totes. The handles are nice, the plastic is thicker than Flex's, and they fit snugly into the boxes. The bins that come in the top box are also nice. The dividers are sturdy, the bins fit snugly into the boxes and can go on either side, and the lid on the case closes tightly. Ridgid has 2 types of bins and some dividers that come in their set. 2 large orange organizers, 1 small orange organizer, and 2 small box dividers. The organizers aren't as sturdy as Packouts, but for the price, the options they give you are pretty great. Flex has 3 types of bins that come in their set. 2 large totes, 2 medium open bins, and 2 small closed cases. The large totes are similar to Packouts, but the handle is closer to the middle of the bin, so it's a bit more uncomfortable in the hand. The bins also don't nestle in the boxes as tightly as Packout. The organizers that come in the top boxes are decent. I like the semi-transparent lids, but it would be nice if they were clear so you could see exactly what's in them. The dividers in the bins aren't as sturdy as Packouts, but there is one more of them per bin. Next up, what features are in the boxes? Ridgid has a pretty open and simple design in their boxes. The small box has slots for dividers, but you could obviously remove those if you need more space. The medium box can store 2 large organizers side by side. The rolling box can accommodate 1 orange organizer, but the unique thing about this box is that it has no wheel wells taking up space. The slot in the medium and large box seem to be about the right size to accommodate the same dividers as the small box, so I wonder if and when Ridgid will release more sizes of these dividers. Packout boxes have noticeably more chamfers and ribs, but the features are still pretty standard. The small box has slots that hold the bins in place and could also accommodate some DIY dividers made from plywood. A unique thing about the Packout boxes is that there are mounting holes on most of the lids for the Milwaukee Tick, a tracking device Milwaukee has been making for years. If you haven't heard of it before, it's basically a less intelligent Apple AirTag. The main benefit to Packout is that since the community is so large, there are several outlets that sell additional accessories, like dividers, 3D printed mods, and most notably, custom fit foam inserts. You can always get standard size sheets and cut your own, but it's nice that every single box already has a precise cut insert for sale. It's pretty obvious Flex has tried to make new interior features a priority. However, I'm a little concerned that some of these new features are just gimmicks. There are gas struts on the rolling box and medium box as well. On the lids of the medium box and the rolling box, there's something called the Quick Connect multi-layout connection points. On this, the Flex bit cases can be attached directly to the connection points. They also market chargers being able to be attached, but those require an additional mount that costs $19.98. This might seem like a convenient addition, but mounting accessories to the lid and walls of the box encroaches on the usable space for storing bigger items. In theory, things can become more organized, but now to charge your batteries, the box needs to be open so it can be plugged in. Or you just need to remove the chargers anyways if you want to find a more convenient spot to charge. In the bottom 2 boxes, there are also brackets for the battery holder rack. Although it's a cool idea, it's only convenient if you have Flex tools and batteries. And in the back of the rolling box, there's another pair of the connection points for the bit cases as well. Although Flex has more accessories from the factory, do these options really make it superior to Packout when Packout users have been implementing these ideas on their own for years? Comment below. If there is one category that makes modular toolboxes superior to traditional options, I would say it's the mobility. Let's see how each of these systems perform in a few simple tests. Earlier in the video, I mentioned the widths of the wheelbases. In this first test, I set the boards 36 inches apart. The Packout has the most room on each side. When I move the boards to 30 inches apart, those differences become a bit more apparent. 30 inches is about the width of this doorway. When you're going through it, you have to be a lot more precise and careful to not hit the walls. And that's without any of the additional accessories mounted to the rails. When going up and down any flight of stairs, the wheel size is important for a smooth transition from step to step. Since all of these wheels are 9 inches, the different brands feel pretty equally smooth. But once again, the increased weight of the flex boxes makes transporting them much more annoying. If you're trying to travel light and be efficient, flex boxes may not be the way to go. Now it's time for a series of durability tests on these boxes. Just kidding, since I purchased these boxes with my own money, I won't be doing any crazy tests today. But if you would like to see me push these boxes to the limit, I set up a new listing on my website called the Why He Do It Fund. As soon as I have enough money to purchase some extra boxes, I'd be happy to test their durability in a series of tests like how they survive falling off of a truck, downstairs, or any other tests you comment below. For those of you who might care where these boxes are designed and made, let's take a look at the companies behind the products. As you might know, TTI is a Chinese-based company, and they technically own many power tool companies like Milwaukee, Ridgid, Ryobi, and Hart. Even though they are owned by the same parent company, Packout is designed by Milwaukee Tool in Wisconsin, and the boxes are manufactured in Israel. I'm not sure where Ridgid is designed, but I know it's also manufactured in Israel. Flex is owned by Shirvan, another Chinese-based company. They have an HQ in Naperville, Illinois, but the manufacturing of the boxes is done in China. What is the Jake score? It's a system I designed for ranking products in my tool reviews. By combining a total of 10 objective and subjective categories, I'm able to arrive at an overall score and hopefully point you in the right direction. I've been testing it out behind the scenes for a while, but there's always room for improvement. So leave a comment below with any thoughts on how to improve it for future reviews. Now, let's get into the scores. The cost category is based on the average price of the 3-piece kit. The Ridgid 3-piece kit comes in at about $185, so the Ridgid earns 7 points. The Flex 3-piece kit comes in at $299, so it gets 5 points. Packout's 3-piece kit comes in at $309, so it gets 5 points. The ergonomics category is a bit more subjective, based on the weight, portability, and comfort of the boxes. Ridgid 2.0 has a few things going for it. The boxes have multiple carry options, the handles are comfortable, and the boxes are the most lightweight of the 3. I give it an 8 out of 10. Packout is a bit more cumbersome than Ridgid boxes, but the nice folding handles and secondary rails help it earn 7 points. Flex has the most handles, but the underlying issue is the raw weight of the boxes. Flex only gets a 6 out of 10. The platform rating is based on how many items are currently available from the manufacturer. All of these scores are subject to change as the systems grow, but as of right now, Ridgid has at least 8 items, so it earns 6 points. The Flex also has around 8 items, so it also earns 6 points. And Packout is the system to beat. It has the most items by far, so it earns a 10 out of 10. Quality and durability is rated on a few things, like what type of materials are involved, where it is made, and how tough the product feels. One day I might revise these scores after doing true strength tests, but I'm basing these scores on those factors. Ridgid is made noticeably flimsier than the other brands. It's still not cheaply made, but compared to Packout and Flex, it earns 7 points. Packout was the clear winner of durability tests before Flex. The design of Flex is also heavily based on Packout, so its structure is good, but I'm just a little bit worried about the latches. So I give both systems a 9 out of 10. Usability is based on the versatility of the product. I'm including how it comes and what accessories are available for purchase. Ridgid comes with dividers, wall mounts, and good organizers, but additional accessories are still lacking. I give it a 7 out of 10. I've seen Packout used for much more than just transporting tools to and from a job site. Based on the variety of accessories, foam inserts, and a huge product line, I give it a 9 out of 10. It's obvious Flex has tried to make Stackpack as versatile as possible. One day when more third-party accessories are available, and we see what it's really capable of, the score might go up. But for now, I give it an 8 out of 10. Personally, I like the design of the Ridgid. It's mostly black, has some cool textures, and nicely contrasts with the orange accents. I give it a 7 out of 10. Packout is pretty iconic for its beefy look, bright colorway, and thoughtful design across its growing product line. I give it an 8 out of 10. Flex has obviously took a lot of inspiration from Packout. so it has a similar look, but personally, I think the amount of logos is tacky, and the gray and black color combo is a little more boring. I give it a 7 out of 10. Warranties are very important for any expensive tool purchase. The company should stand behind their product. Ridgid has a limited lifetime warranty, but the Ridgid website actually directs you towards the manufacturer of the box's heater. I wish they were able to address any problems in one place, but it is still a lifetime warranty, so I give them an 8 out of 10. Packout has a limited lifetime warranty as well. Milwaukee handles everything through a form on the website, or you can call them at 1-800-SAWDUST. I give the Packout warranty a 9 out of 10. This surprised me. Flex only has a 1-year limited warranty with registration on their toolboxes. The accessories and attachments have no warranty. If Flex truly thinks their boxes are the toughest on the market, then I think they should take more pride in the boxes and cover them for a longer time. So I give them a 5 out of 10. The features category takes into account the included accessories as well as the innovation taking place behind the scenes. Ridgid gets an 8 because of the unique organizers and convenient new fix-and-go system. Packout is a system to beat with the amount of Milwaukee supported accessories and third-party mods. I give it a 9 out of 10. Flex has a good amount of features that come with the boxes and available accessories, but the cost of their accessories is high, and there is a lack of innovation. For now, I give them a 7 out of 10. The last two scores come from my mom and dad, which may sound odd at first, but as a 20-year-old who has been working with my parents for years on home renovation projects, I really value their opinions. Not only has their wallet been a deciding factor on a majority of our tool purchases, but they both provide useful perspectives. They often point out things I don't notice, or just have differing opinions based on factors they value as more important. First up, my mom's opinion of Ridgid. She thinks that Ridgid set is by far the best value on the market. At its current price point, it's very well built compared to similarly priced boxes, like Ryobi Link or Craftsman Trade Stack. Yet it can easily compete with Packout and Flex in all of the categories. Features like comfortable handles, the included wall mounts, and the removable cart really impressed her. If 2.0 had been around 3 years ago, when I first asked her to get me Packout for Christmas, I think she would have pushed me towards Ridgid. The biggest downside she sees right now is that the Ridgid product line is still small, but we hope to see that expand very soon. Over the last couple of years, my mom has gotten very familiar with using and moving around the Packout boxes, bags, and accessories. If price is not a factor, Packout is an easy choice. She likes the variety of the product line, how easy but secure the connecting mechanism is, and how Packout users have such a strong community. In the short time we've been testing out Flex, my mom has a few notable issues with the system. Most importantly, the weight of the bottom two boxes is borderline ridiculous. She was also shocked that the price point is almost identical to Packout and doesn't think including features like gas struts and a removable handle makes it worth that price. She likes the idea of being able to attach smaller cases together and thinks it's unique, but unless all of your bit cases are Flex, then it won't really help with your organization. She also doesn't like how Flex copied ideas from small business owners who make Packout mods and use those as their special features, rather than truly introducing new and innovative products. She says if you were just starting your tool collection, plan on buying mostly Flex tools, and don't care how long it takes for Flex to roll out new products, then Stackpack might make the most sense. With all that being said, the mom scores of these three systems are Ridgid with a 9 out of 10, Packout with an 8 out of 10, and Flex with a 7 out of 10. A few years ago, I got my first Packout box. Ever since then, my dad has been growing our collection and phasing out old methods of storing his tools. It took just a few weeks of him watching me easily maneuver and organize my tools to make him jealous enough to want some of his own. His collection now surpasses mine. Let's start with Packout. He really likes the single-handed connecting mechanism. He also says that the design of the feet provide great stability even when the boxes are not fully locked in. His favorite part about the system is the large variety of boxes, bags, and other products. It will take a long time before any other company comes even close to Packout. The last thing he mentioned is that Packout is the only system that has rails on the corners that are useful for attaching other items or using them as another set of handles. Next up, Ridgid 2.0. He agrees with my mom that this system is an exceptional value. He likes that the connections are simple and backwards compatible with the Gen 1. Something he wishes Packout had is the removable wheel and handle unit. Since we often move tools from inside to outside, having two carts would be a clean and simple way to transport them. However, the width of the wheelbase is a minor inconvenience at times. Finally, Flex. After months of anticipating this new system, he is disappointed in the final product. Some of his favorite Packout items are half-width boxes, so he finds the manual center latch inconvenient. Flex is one of the later brands to get into the tool storage game. At launch, they should have had a wider variety of boxes, bags, and accessories. The accessories are also expensive, and without them, the rails serve little purpose. My dad's favorite Packout box is a small box with accessory bins. The most noticeable problem with the Flex version of that box is that the front handle is too close to the padlock hole, resulting in smashed knuckles. With Packout handles, he's never had a problem. When he first saw the included Flex bins and totes, he was unimpressed with their lower quality design. The included organizers and totes from Packout are superior. The dad score for these systems are Packout with a 9 out of 10, Ridgid with an 8 out of 10, and Flex with a 7 out of 10. And the overall Jake scores for these 3 modular toolbox sets are Packout with 83 out of 100, Ridgid with 76 out of 100, and Flex with 66 points out of 100. Comment below with how you would rank these systems. Thanks for watching this video. If you have any questions or thoughts about these systems, please comment below. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to not miss any future tool reviews. See you in the next one.